Well, hello everyone, loves of my life. I am actually making this video without myself in it at all. I'm going to talk through a little bit of ceremony that I've kind of been doing this morning. I always just love to share things like this. I feel like this is the kind of thing that I always grow a ton from hearing about what people do and how they utilize tools to grow spiritually. So I'm just going to walk you through kind of what I did this morning. Forgive, I'm going to get seated here on my cushion. So you're going to notice I have a lot of stuff sitting here. And so what I kind of do is I'm just going to scan. So I've got a bunch of stones, and these are palm stones, which I love, love, love. I've got a stack of oracle decks, which I love. These are some of my very favorites. This is a brand new one, the Divine Feminine, which I love because it's got a whole variety of feminine deities. It's not all Hindu or things like that. It's the whole variety of them, which I love. And then this is my tarot, and then my spirit animal decks. So these are two of my very favorite decks that I draw from pretty routinely. In particular, the animal one by Rachel Farba is amazing because if I spot an animal somewhere and I feel like it's something divine, what I'll do is I'll look it up and just kind of take in that wisdom from whatever it's given me. And honestly, it's never been wrong. I'm going to tell you the truth. I know this sounds like a load of you-know-what. Trust me when I say I have never been steered wrong. And so when you feel that pull, that intuition, like, oh, I'm being given something, look it up. So this is her book. Let me move these things. That's not, there you go. This book is absolutely beautiful. Okay. Gorilla. Haven't seen a gorilla in my whatever. I have been seeing that's funny. Let me see if I can find one. Quick. Because I have been, strangely, seeing our pheasant has come back. And I don't know if one's in here or not. This is hard to do with one hand. My apologies. Penguin. I don't know if there is. Express yourself more freely and passionately as you align with your sensual side. That's hilarious. When pheasant shows up, it is a sign to be more passionate. Do not be afraid to express yourself, especially when it comes to the love you have for others. Be free in your expression of mind, body, and spirit. Let your sensuality come to life and allow yourself the opportunity to be more selective and sultry. Let your natural beauty shine. Go after the experiences that you want and let all fears dissolve as you move ahead with confidence. Pheasant wants you to pursue your passions and remove any hesitation when it comes to asking for what it is you want. Try new experiences and get out of your comfort zone. You are capable of attracting love, friendship, and creative opportunities quite easily. Others are drawn to your vibrant nature, and you stand out from the crowd in ways that make you a unique and beautiful soul. Well, that's lovely. So I've been seeing, it's funny, they just came back, and I just thought about that as I was telling you guys. Okay, so moving on. This is my book. This is my journal. I tell my clients to have journals, and I'm sure they think I'm hooey. This is literally all meditations. So I've done the meditations, and then I write down cards, crystals, anything that comes to me, insights and awareness. Literally love so much. Always, always, always one thing I would definitely recommend, have a journal. I did just burn down my favorite incense. So that was on during an entire meditation. Beautiful. I actually did a really thorough sage cleanse this morning of myself. I had some removal of some cords and things I needed to do. So I did go in, and this room was a smoky haze, let me tell you. I just kind of cleansed myself. I cleansed my space. I cleansed my stones, all of my tools. I went in and cleansed everything, right? Because we need that too. And so today, since it had been a minute, I actually really went in and just did the whole 9 yards. Just using that's a turkey feather right there, as a way to disperse the smoke from a set of smudge is really kind of very Native American in nature, as far as I understand. So forgive me, I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't want to ever own something that doesn't belong to me in the form of spirituality, but I do love doing that. So I actually use that feather to move the smoke around the space and myself. And here's the other tool. So we're going to talk about prayer box in a minute. So you can see I've got sprays here. I've created some sprays, and I'm selling them online now. So these, I call mine soul sprays. This one is one of my favorites. This is a protection. So I use it actually as a clearing. So that's really interesting. I always use it as a clearing and a cleansing if I don't feel like smudging. So the nice thing is, right, is that not everyone's going to like using a sage. It's pungent. It smells up your home. It's not for everybody. And if you're really sensitive to smell, I can't imagine that you would want to do that. this is where sprays are amazing. So for me, sprays are like an alternative, so I don't have to always smudge in my home, for respect for my family. So this is, this is a protection. This is just lavender. So I then sprayed lavender on myself. This is one that I picked up somewhere that's for my birth, my constellation. It's Virgo, but I was going to see what it said. It has vanilla, lavender, carnelian. It's actually a really beautiful smell. Not all of them smelled nice. Mine did. Winter, winter, chicken dinner. And then this is Good Fortune Aventurine orange oil. And so I'll use that as well, particularly when I'm working, if I'm going into a meeting. That one's a roller ball, so I love that too. It's messy. The one thing I will say I love the sprays is not messy, and that roller ball kind of sucks and it leaks, but it's like smells delicious. So I love it. So I still have that on hand as well. I'll probably remake it when it's run out. I have a candle burning always just for illumination, just to illuminate the darkness, to be the light, as a beautiful reminder. So what I have in front of me, here's some really like pointed things. So this is one of my favorite stones in all of creation. I'm a little bit sad because it actually got chipped on the bottom. I'm so sad. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Sorry. There we go. Oh, bummer. It's not quite as pointed as it once was. And that was my moving it. What you'll see is you'll notice I have it starting at its widest point and coming in, which is actually intentional so that it's bringing in beautiful energy as I sit here and do my meditation and my practice and my journey. Okay, so some other things around me, my water you don't care about. I got some gifts from my daughter for Christmas, which really lights my soul on fire. I love gift crystals like no one's business. Which, who doesn't love gifts? To me, they're so divinely chosen when someone gifts them to you. This one is a Sacred Seven, which is like a series of 7 stones that all come together, which is really hard to see in the way that the stone is created, but it's actually so beautiful. It looks really amethyst. And then this is like a really deep red. So you're missing sort of the gradation of what it would probably look like if it was just a little bit clearer, but it's actually really beautiful and it's got incredible energy. So I could feel that one in my hand, which I always get really excited about. I love the ones that I can physically have a sensation in my hand. It's amazing. This one is so cool, an Egyptian prophecy stone. You guys, it looks like an archaic turd. I'm just going to be honest. It weighs, it's like heavy. This is much more like, almost like you'd imagine it had metal on the inside. It's really weighty. This one made my hand burn. No, not burn, I had to drop it, but I could feel my hand burning after a time of holding it. And so this one is for high vibration, opens the third eye, astral and visionary work, sharpens memory, calms the mind, crown and third eye. It's money. And always, 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 and this is so funny because Chloe's like, so like, ow, spirituality, blah, blah, blah. Literally the kid gets me the best stones on the planet as gifts. I don't know how, the what, but that kid's so deeply connected to me. I swear to the Lord, they feel like hand delivered by God, source, universe, whatever, because she always picks these incredible stones. I do believe, and she could not recall, I do believe this is a moss agate. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at the top. It's like almost clear. It's so pretty. And she like is totally into green these days. So I love this one. This actually feels really symbolic of her. And green is always good for like the heart chakra. This is good for abundance, success, optimism. I mean, this is like literally kind of the story of my last year, but also where I think I'm going. So this is so timely and beautiful. Okay. What is this? So this is my little box. This is my New Year's box I have used for a gazillion years now. I don't even know how many years I've been using it, honestly. So you're going to notice the weirdest shit in here, and I'm going to show you anyway. So there's like a dollar bill for money, right? So just inviting that in. A rose petal from a ceremony, because I love ceremony. Chocolate for sweetness in life. I'm very symbolic about this box. Very. This is a gorgeous stone. And I wish I remember what this has to be, something symbolic. That's all I can say. And I'm not sure what that is anymore. Forgive. There's a little bird for nature. And also this always reminds me of my mom. It's not a cardinal, but that's birds in general kind of remind me of my mother. I'm trying to see what else I've got in here. You guys, I've got so many things over the years. It's so funny. There's a little piece of leftover incense. Isn't that funny? And then I've just got words. You guys got all kinds of stuff in here. So take risks, peace. You can see even the inside. Look at the laughter, like emoji guy. Influencer. This is so be still, right? You can see. So, and then even the lid, you guys, I mean, like literally even the lid has stuff in it. Hope. give, pray, love, calm, create, happy, explore. So this is the top of it. It looks, I think it's so beautiful. Maybe it's not for everyone. I absolutely love it. It's this little sweet box. It looks like a jewelry box. I just decorated it. Okay. So what I do every year is I write out a prayer. That's why that prayer box is there. So this is my little prayer box. You can find these anywhere. You could do them in any way. And so I take out a little piece of paper and I write a note. And so this year was really interesting. It was like I was writing to the year rather than to like myself. It was like really interesting. It was like writing to the next year about what I wanted to see and experience and have happen in my life. And so what I'm going to do then is this is the one from last year, which I read, which is always really fun to go back and read. I will do a ceremony where I burn that. I actually might do that online in some fashion. We'll see. I'm going to put my little things back in here. If something no longer feels good in your box, take it out. So if you are ever going through them and you're like, oh, it's time to re-up, and you're like, oh, that doesn't really feel like it fits anymore. I need something new in there. Put it in there. So I'm going to recover this. I have rewritten my new one. I'll fold this up. And then this is going to go and stay in there, and I'm going to burn this one. The reason we do that is it's like assuming it's already been given, assuming you've already been granted this beautiful gift. And so it's a really powerful thing to do, not only to release, like to, hey, I release you 2021, but also I release and receive all of the blessing and gifts that I believe that I asked for, that I've received them, that they've landed. This is a new mala I got. It's I Am Becoming. It's so gorgeous. It's by the Mala Collective. And it's so pretty. And, I just loved it. Like, I don't even know. It's super funny to me that I picked that out because it's so like, it's a Picasso Jasper, but this is what this says. It says, I am always in a state of becoming. Oop, sorry, friends. What's happening? There we go. Who I am now and who I am meant to be. It's never complete. It's ever evolving. With love and ease, I give myself permission to become more me every single day. And that's just nurturing positive connections with friends and loved ones, which I love because this is entirely a year of community and the collective. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty funny to me how you'll pick something and not even reading all of the parts and be like, wow, that's amazing. I have some extra stones here in case I need them. I have my handy dandy tool that I use for cord cutting. So this is actually a crystal that I was gifted. Again, a gift. I love crystal gifts. They're the best. From my mother-in-law. And I use this for special spiritual work. And then my bell, in case I need to clear the air quickly. And then, of course, as always, this is my jam. I always have notes. Now, why? Because it's separate from my journal, right? So here's my handy dandy journal, which I'll journal in when I'm done with the meditation. But for me, this is like the money because I have the most creativity when I sit in meditation. So some people can, and I do have meditations where I drop in really deep and I'm kind of in another place and I'm finding stillness. And then I have other times where I'm sitting in meditation and idea. I mean, like legitimately when I say to you that I had like 6 or 7 ideas that I hand wrote out on this paper in my process. Okay. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. This is above and beyond. This is not a traditional, kind of day for meditation. It certainly could be. But really, truly, it's like if the spirit moves me, I pick up a spray and spray myself. If I feel like I need to like pick up a different stone, I could change stones. Like the nice thing about having a variety of things out from time to time as a special deal is to pick and choose truly what feels best for your soul for that day. Handy dandy speaker as always to listen to my meditations and music and things like that. So, why am I talking about all this? Because we're on the cusp of the new year. We're on the cusp of 2022. And I don't know why this feels like a really optimistic year to me, which is really interesting. Like just everything I'm listening to, personal development, growth, etc., is saying that 2022 is going to be really beautiful, that we are really like waking up as a whole, that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be shifting and changing for the positive, which is just beautiful. We all need to hear that right now. So I love that. But there is something that feels really beautiful about it. And it's very interesting. Which is strangely, it's not that I'm not always optimistic about a new year, but for some reason this year in particular feels like really juicy to me. And I haven't been in a meditation in a minute. I have not been doing my self-care the way that I typically would. I've been like full on working, creating soul sprays and doing some really fun things and projects and getting a lot of things accomplished, which makes me feel really good heading into the new year. For some of, I was totally thinking, this is so funny, I was just going to spend my entire month in reflection. No, nope, that's not it. I have literally like been just knocking things off my list and feeling super productive, but also really good about that, like in a way that feels really aligned to get things squared away in preparation for what is coming. So it's like making space, if that makes sense. So it's like check, 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 move it off the list, move it off the list, move it off the, and then there's expansive space, right? And that's what I'm really trying to do, create expansive space for all the things that are ready to come in. And so that's kind of how my last week or so has been, which is really funny because I totally thought, and I have had a little bit of downtime, don't get me wrong, but not like what I thought. I was like, oh, I'll spend the whole week in meditation. No, that did not happen. But that's okay. That's right. Because really, you know what? Like I said, all things coming in are meant for me and for you. And so that's what I must have most needed. Excuse me, I can't say that altogether. And so I just wanted to pop in here and share this with you guys. Talk about like, what are these random tools? Like, why do we use them? Like, you know what I mean? Because if you just see an image on the internet, it can be really easy to like blow off and be like, you know, well, that's a bunch of stuff that I don't know what the hell any of it means, right? Like, why would I do any of that? So really, truly, what's so neat about this, and one of my friends was like, you have to talk about soul sprays. I didn't know you made those. People need those. Like, you need to be talking about it. And one of my dear friends who bought the first one, she's so awesome. And she is following me on Insight Timer, and so she's become a friend. And so she was like, I need one of those. She goes, everyone needs these. You need to put these on Etsy. Like, she was so cute. She's like, you need to make sets of these. She was so excited about it. I'm like, whoa, I don't even know if any of them are to sell yet. But I love them so much. Like, they're so handy. And so literally at my desk, so here's my, so it's kind of a mess because there's extra stuff sitting there. Well, you can see my guides. There's my guides, my artwork. One of my friends made for me. I paid for a reading, and that's her artwork, and I copied it on a really great copier, and I have them everywhere in my house. I'm not even kidding you. That's a secret you did not know about, Jen. My guides, those are just a handful of them, are literally with me every single place that I go, just so you know. Okay, so anyway, note to self. So what I want to say is that, right, so when I'm sitting here, you can see that picture of Chloe in the back corner of my desk, and behind that is where I store all my sprays. I'm actually going to be redoing this space just a little bit for the new year. I think I'm going to put my stuff on a little shelf by my desk to make it easier and more accessible and less clunky. But I will grab them and use them. Like I said, like literally, like daily. So, I mean, they are so handy and so easy. And this is one of the things that I'm so passionate about, is like just having little things like this is such an awesome and easy tool. And it's not going to affect a bunch of people. In 2 seconds, you've smelled it, you've received it, you're moving on. It's not going to smell up your house, which I just like love so much. And so these are my favorite little tools. You've probably seen these prayer boxes everywhere. They're everywhere, friends. They're like little gifty things. You can find them online somewhere if you want one. Again, everyone can do this differently. This is just my mode of ceremony, and how I'm treating this new year, because I always redo that box right there. And so I wanted to make sure I sat down in regard for my ceremony and do that. And I'm going to use my new mala for the first time today. And then I'll be documenting what I have as an experience. So this is my robe. Isn't this nice? This is, you know, who doesn't come on and do videos in their robes? But the reality is, as I was doing it, I thought somebody might want to see and hear about what this is and how this works. And so thought I would drop this in, share it with all of you who are interested in learning a little bit more about this, and just like the significance, right? So as much as I can say, I could say more about all of this, but I'm not going to because it'll take too long. So, all right, my friends, love and light to you all. And this is just a little bit of, like I said, ceremony and ringing in the new year and how I like to do that. Blessings.